Welcome to TCT Boxing in association with KO Clothing. Here with me, I'm joined by Tasmanian-based promoter Grant Brown on the phone from Tasmania. Thanks for joining us, Grant.
Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. So you're obviously promoting shows at the moment, but I understand you've got your own history in the sport. I understand you represented Australia as an amateur and then turned pro. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your career.
I was based in Tassie most of my amateur career, and then I represented Australia at 99 Oceania Games with some really good guys, Jamie Pittman, Paul Miller, Michael Cassidy. It was a good team back then, and missed out on the 2000 Olympics, unfortunately, so I turned pro and was lucky enough to be based up with Johnny Lewis in Newtown for a couple of years, and got to spar the likes of Costa Zoo and Justin ourselves. It's a great time. And then actually turned pro under Team Fenech with Jeff Fenech and Billy Hussein, and that was just the best stable in the country back then in 2001.
Yeah, absolutely, and those guys still going strong, obviously in the training and well, mainly the training side of things, but promotions as well with Jeff. And obviously Billy Hussein's got his the Body Punch gym, which is just churning out good fighters at the moment. So what was it like to say, like training with someone like Johnny Lewis? I've trained with Johnny Lewis myself since I've arrived in Australia, and obviously one of the nicest guys in boxing. But what's it like to have someone like that in your corner as a pro, as you're sort of learning your trade?
It was amazing. I felt very, very privileged. I was only young boy from Hobart. Johnny was like a father figure to the whole gym. He was just a great guy, and he was always there for you outside of boxing. And then just a lovely man. And then obviously the Team Fenech experience, mate. What Billy is saying is still my lifelong friend. We talk every week, and I got so much time for Billy, his brother Maz, Hussey and Skinny. There's a great family, and the sparring was amazing up there. Like Victor Chinian and the Hussein brothers, it was full on every day, and it was great times, good memories.
Excellent. And you finished with a record of 8-0, is that right?
Yeah, 8-0, 4 KOs. Yep.
So what brought an end to the career? Why'd you hang up the gloves?
I've just been in the game so long as an amateur, as well, and then not getting regular fights, I guess. It was an awkward time back then, I was up in Sydney and I was up there battling, trying to make it. But I mean, like a lot of young fighters understand, I guess, if I knew then what I know now, things would be a bit different. But I mean, after a while in the sport and a lot of fights falling through, my last one was meant to be on the Bill Mundine first fight on pay-per-view in Brisbane.
Okay.
And my opponent failed his medical test the day of the fight, so that was a real big blow. Obviously, I was on a great card and trained very hard for Billy Hussein and Dave Birchall.
Yeah.
So that was a bit upsetting. So I thought, look, you've been in the game a long time. I love the sport. You can help the kids, train the kids, and promote the sport back in my hometown. So that's what I chose to do. So no regrets.
Excellent. So that's what led to the promoting, and I suppose you're trying to stop other people from experiencing those difficulties of not being able to find fights, I guess. Is that one of your main challenges now?
Yeah. I mean, I know the sport back to front. I've been in the game my whole life. My family, I'm a 3-generation boxer, my grandfather and father. So, I've been up in the game. I know the sport through and through, and if I could help, the guys sort of not get led astray, and sort of with the managers, promoters, and and someone that actually wants them to do well, and just sort of keep them on the right path. Boxing is a great sport, but we know that there's obviously a lot of corruption in the sport, and I'm out there just to do the best for my guys and try and lead them, to have a good future outside of boxing as well as in the ring,
Excellent, and I know obviously, so you're based in Tasmania, and I suppose Tasmania's probably most famous boxing export would be Daniel Gill. I understand that you helped promote one of his shows back in 2006.
Yeah, Daniel was a former teammate of mine in the amateurs. Great guy. We're still very good friends to today. Back in the Grange, they were looking for him to have his first fight in Tassie back in 2006, but it hadn't happened. So I put my hand up and said, look, I'll put Daniel on. He was only, I think, his 5th or 6th fight. I matched him with Timo Masua, who was famously known for being knocked out by Anthony Mundine, and we both fought the double main event against New Zealand opponents, and it was a great night at City Hall in Hobart. We packed it out, and Daniel got his first fight in Tassie, and then came back 6 years later as world champion. So it was good to be able to give him the opportunity, and look what he went on, and obviously Yeah, so it was great. Daniel's a great guy, and I've got a lot of time for Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely great ambassador for Aussie Boxing, and and then now looking to the future, Tasmania's next big export, who I know you've got on your next show, is Luke Jackson, who's 9-0 now, and obviously seems to be just getting better and better as time goes on. What are your thoughts on Luke, and how excited are you to have him on your next show? I understand he sold out last time he was in Tasmania.
Oh, Luke's like a brother to me. We're best friends, have been now since 2005. We've got a very, very strong bond, and so that's a personal aspect. Luke's a very dear friend of mine. As a boxer, look, he's just amazing. An amazing amateur career. Not many people have done what he done. Obviously, international level with 2 Commonwealth Games, and obviously in Olympics, and he fought so many guys, Cubans, Russians, and now as a pro, I've seen him improve a lot. Obviously, I co-training down here in Tassie, and then he goes up to the Master Billy Hussein, where he gets the great sparring with the likes of Billy Dibb, Paul Fleming, Bilal Dibb, great crew, body punch gym. Look, we sold out down here. It was packed in August. Luke was the main event, and me and my co-promoter Adam Wilcox, Fight Car Promotions, put on a great show. And again, March 5th next year, we're looking for another big one. Luke's only getting bigger and bigger. So.
Excellent. And so obviously Luke will be the main attraction there, but I know you've got a few other local guys lined up to fight on that card. So talk us through who else you've got on that card, and who people should be looking out for.
Yeah, we've got my cousins Johnny and Gary Brown. Johnny debuted on the August show at the City Hall, then he just fought at Devonport last week and got another win, so he's 2-0. Yeah. Gary Brown, his brother, he'll be on the show as well, and he just fought at Devonport and had a very good win. So his record is now, I think, 3-2. One of Luke's guys, Matt Trifford, he's having his pro debut. Luke trains him. He's a very good friend of Luke, so he'll be quite interesting. He can actually, he's a really good fighter. And Jacob Doreen also, who debuted on the August show, he'll be having his second pro fight, plus the amateurs as well. So look, it'll be a great night of boxing. And Luke's only getting bigger and bigger, and the future's very bright for Luke, obviously, if he keeps going at this pace and learning from Billy. And, so 2016 is a huge year.
Absolutely. And it sounds like, boxing in Tasmania seems to be, taking off with so many sort of young prospects coming through. Is that the sort of impression that you're getting? Have you found that the popularity's risen in the last couple of years, and is that due to Luke, or is that from other factors?
Boxing's always big in Tassie. I've had some great fighters over the years, and including Justin Crawford, who was a 2-time Olympian, one of the best amateurs Australia's ever had. We've had so many good fighters, but lately the buzz is out. The fact you've got a guy like Luke, who's actually like a very big draw card, and you always need that guy to sort of be the figurehead. So right now Luke's the figurehead, and while we're doing shows between us, it gives guys a chance to see live boxing. By seeing live boxing, it gives those younger guys to think, well, geez, I can do that. I can get up in the ring, and I'm fighting in Tassie. I might work a bit harder to try and get on the show. So it does help a lot to have a figurehead like Luke and someone like myself, who's just promoting the sport so much. So the future's bright for Tassie boxing. It's going to be a good next couple of years, I think.
Excellent, and we're seeing the same thing all over the country. Really, there's so much young talent in Australia coming through. The Body Punch Gym we've mentioned, they've got some future world champions in there for sure. And who do you see as with Mundine and Gill and Sakio Bika being at the later stages of their careers? Who do you see as the next crop of youngsters to sort of come through and start challenging him for those world title belts? I know Paul Fleming's been probably earmarked as one of those, Lucas Brown as well, potentially. Is there anyone else that you've sort of seen that you think is on the cusp of, say, pushing towards that next level?
Yeah, definitely. Look, we've been spoiled. We had a great era with, and we still have them. Sakio Bika's still he's a very good friend of mine as well. He's still an amazing fighter. But we had, obviously, Danny Green, Mundine, Gill, Cassidy, Victor Chinyan. A lot of these guys are sort of, still can fight and still around, but obviously looking for the next generation. So, look, Jeff Horn's got to be up there. He's fighting regularly against good quality opponents. So, he comes to mind. Obviously, Luke Jackson, I definitely think Luke can go to the next level. Next year's a big year for him. Paul Fleming, as you said. Cameron Hammond, he's moving along quite well. Lenny Sapavinha's still going. He's in America. Got a great manager, Mike Alchimura, another good friend of mine. So Zappa's over there in America, doing it the hard way, doing it the right way. And obviously the Maloney brothers, Andrew and Jason, are both very good prospects. So yeah, look, there's some good young guys coming through, and hopefully one or two of those guys, or hopefully all of them, can get to that level and take over from where the guys like Sakio, Victor Chinyan, Daniel Gill have left off.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you see as the main sort of barrier to the sport continuing? And it seems to be an upward trajectory right now. What would you say the biggest challenge for boxing is right now in terms of getting to that next step of getting the public's attention?
Look, it's obviously it's so hard. I mean, with the public, like, as you know, it's you can be known as a boxer in the boxing community. It's hard to break over to that sort of, I guess, celebrity status like a Mundine and Green did. So that's why their names are so big. They've actually broke out of the boxing and into the public. All the public knows. I mean, I can mention so many great fighters that sort of are known in boxing but not known to the general public. So. Yeah. I guess, and that's to do with the media, I guess, sort of, they're not the biggest fans of boxing, but when they get someone they can sort of really, promote like a Mundine and the Green, they sort of go forward. So a lot of obviously these are footy players that turn pro too, like the rugby league guys. I mean, they get a lot of attention, which I don't really like. The younger guys like Luke Jackson, the Maloney boys, and guys that have done good amateur stuff, and Paul Fleming don't seem to get the spotlight as much, which is, a bit concerning, But yeah, I guess that's just the way the media is.